Welcome back. Hers is the quintessential American success story. An immigrant who came to the land of the free with both talent and the willingness to work hard and serve others. Since 2006, Democrat Ana Hernandez has represented District 143 on our community's hardworking east side. And this morning she takes our hot seat. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for the invitation.
Representative Hernandez, you have heard Governor Abbott's proposals for making our schools safer in the wake of Santa Fe. What did you like about it? What's left out?
I think it's a good starting point in that we do need to have more discussions about this at the legislative level. There are proposals in his plan. There have also been calls by the Lieutenant Governor and the Speaker of the House to have committee hearings, which I think is the most important, that we need to hear from the community. We need to hear from those students and families that have been infected, hear from law enforcement, hear from our educators.
When it comes down to it, this legislature has been tight with a dollar. Will they spend the money to harden our schools, to provide the resources necessary? Do you think that there's the will on the Republican side?
And that is what really sets our priorities. When you look at the budget and see a state of this magnitude with a $219 billion budget, where are we focusing our priorities? Where are we putting our monies? And I know the governor has asked for an additional $20 million for the mental health services to make sure that we're addressing this from a full range and not just in one issue. And we want to make sure that the legislators that we do support that. I mean, I'm fully supportive of increasing funding for our schools, increasing funding for mental health programs to make sure that we're supporting our families in our communities.
Speaking of education as a topic, I mean, the state's share of public education spending has been dropping as a percentage. What is it going to take to convince your Republican colleagues that the shortchanging has to stop?
Absolutely. And we see this week, the last few weeks has been weekends of graduation, of celebrations. When you go to the schools and you see this is the future of our state. We are a very young state. I mean, half of the population is under age 18. That's our future workforce. We have to invest in our schools. We have to make sure that we don't have failing schools in our communities, that we have a prepared workforce for tomorrow.
In the last session, you fought hard. Joined your Democratic colleagues, Latino colleagues, fighting the sanctuary city law. That is now the law of the state of Texas. How is it impacting folks in your district?
As you mentioned, I mean, the issue of immigration is very personal to me because of my background. And not only did we fight against that measure on the House floor, but I also continued that fight in litigation. I was one of 5 witnesses that testified during the federal court hearing for the injunction. And it's something that we've seen, have a chilling effect in our communities when law enforcement testified that it was important for them to continue to have a good relationship with the community, because that's what they rely on to make sure that we can keep our community safe, and that people are reluctant to call and report those crimes if their immigration status is going to be inquired. And understand, these perpetrators are not just targeting the immigrant community, they also commit crimes against non-immigrants. And so it's a bill that was proposed as promoting public safety, but it's done quite the opposite, because we've seen crime reportings go down, as reported by our police chief, Acevedo.
I want to move quickly to health care. You have in the past supported expansion of Medicaid. Now we're kind of in the post-Obamacare era. Are folks in your district getting the health care they need, and what should be done?
We have lots of families that are struggling, and this is an issue that I understand as well. My son was sick a couple weeks ago. We were out the entire week, and as I sat in the doctor's office and realized how fortunate we were to have health care insurance for the 2 visits we had to do, makes me realize there are many families that don't have that ability to take care of their child. If we want to make sure that we're taking care of a future of our state, that we have healthy families, then we need to make sure that they have access to that health care. And that is a struggle that we have, not only in my district, but the entire state. So it's important that we draw those federal dollars that are going to other states. It's not that they're not going to be spent. They'll be spent in other states, and those dollars need to be spent in our communities to make sure we have healthy families. Okay,
big question. You have signaled a strong interest to succeed. State Senator Sylvia Garcia, if she in fact, as we expect, is elected to Congress, why are you a better choice than your House colleague, Carol Alvarado?
That is true. I mean, once our senator moves on to Congress, I intend to run for that position. And I'm very proud of the work that we've done in the legislature. This is my 13th year as a state representative, and we have worked with our community to develop our legislative package, because that's what I think is important, that as a state representative, we are working to address policies and present legislation that will lift families, to be that voice for those that don't have a voice in the halls of power, and making sure that our legislation provides those opportunities for others. I am very grateful for the opportunities that have been provided for me. I understand that people before me fought for those opportunities, and so it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we continue that forward, that every child has access to quality public education, because we know that's the key. I mean, that's why I'm standing here, because I had good public education, access to affordable higher education. I mean, to do whatever it is that they set their mind to do, to have those opportunities. The families that have sick kids do not lose their jobs because they're taking care of their sick kid. So that has been our legislative platform that we continue to work on, and that I hope to take to the Texas Senate.
We're going to follow you closely. Thanks for being here this morning.